It's in a few seconds.
Yes,
we
right
are.
now we are live.
They're gonna put me in the movies. They're gonna make a big star out of me. We'll make a film about a man that's sad and lonely.
Oh, tell him, Johnny.
And all I gotta do is act naturally. Well, I'll bet you I'm gonna be a big star. Might win an Oscar, you can't never tell. The movies are gonna make me a big star, 'cause I can play the part so well. Well, I hope you come to see me in the movies. Then I know that you will plainly see the biggest fool that's ever hit the big time. And all I gotta do is act naturally.
Take it, Earl. Earl Scruggs.
We'll make a scene about a man that's sad and lonely, and a beggar down upon his bending.
Buck Owens.
And I'll play the part. I won't need rehearsing.
Famous
All
country.
I gotta do is act naturally. Well, I'll bet you I'm gonna be a big star. Might win an Oscar, you can't never tell. The movies are gonna make me a big star, 'cause I can play the part so well. I hope you come to see me in the movies. Then I know that you're gonna plainly see the biggest fool that's ever hit the big time. And all I gotta do is act naturally. Yeah, all I gotta do is act naturally.
Hugh Moore, what was that?
That was Act Naturally from Johnny Russell. I just put the link up there. And it was a recording we did in about 2001, 2, or somewhere around in there, 2000 maybe. And it was the highlight of my recording career, because it had my idols on there. It had Benny Martin, Earl Scruggs,
right,
and it had Buck Owens singing. It was Johnny Russell and Buck Owens kind of trading around there. And I thought, man, this is going to be a hit, but it wasn't. Surprise, surprise. But it was great music, and I listened to it now. I think that's exciting. It was fun.
It's a great memory, a great experience to have had, with Earl and.
It was a big time. And Earl and Benny Martin, as you know, was kind of my idol. I mean, so was Earl. And then of course Buck Owens is so great. And he wasn't really recording anymore. It was very late in his career, and he agreed to do it because it was Johnny Russell. Johnny Russell wrote that song. He's one of the few people that wrote a song that the Beatles recorded. And the Beatles got it from hearing Buck do it. And Buck Owens sang it, had obviously big hits with it.
Yeah.
And so anyway, Buck agreed to do it. Late in his career, he wasn't quite the same but he just, when he sang that song, it really came alive. So it was all a kind of a late career thing for Earl, pretty late, and then but definitely for Benny, it was one of his last things, I guess, that he recorded, and then of course, so Buck, Earl, and it was fun. Buck, Earl, and Benny
was in the band there.
In that band, since you gave me 20 minutes notice about this appearance tonight, I didn't have time to get the liner notes or anything, but it might have been Mike Bubb on the bass, and it was, I think, Marty Stewart on the mandolin, but I might be wrong. That might have been Buck White. But anyway, it was a great, that is a great little mandolin, this little mandolin intro. So I've kind of forgot. That might have been Marty Stewart. So maybe somebody out there will go look it up on the internet.
Yeah, it was some good playing, whoever it was.
Yeah.
For sure.
But anyway, thank you for having me on here, Jan. Just for the folks out there, Jan kind of wasn't quite sure how this is Seth's birthday, right? And so, happy birthday, Seth. And
yes,
so, we didn't quite plan this out in advance, but we can play some music and talk about bluegrass. And we got Misha, who's the Russian bluegrass expert about bluegrass in Russia, and he's going to talk some tonight too.
In Russia.
Yeah. Yeah, Misha Misha grew up in the Soviet Union in what used to be Leningrad.
Right.
and so it's very interesting to compare our upbringings.
Yeah, of course.
And now you have your own story, so we'll see. And Misha didn't know anything about bluegrass. What?
Not much.
No.
Not much at all.
So, like, what would have been the closest to bluegrass you've heard in the Soviet Union?
Oof. No, I don't really know what to say.
Yeah. Burr Lives, maybe.
Well, it was really big opening. I mean, something new, which I never heard before in St. Petersburg.
Yeah.
Right.
Later on, of course, we've seen several Russian kukuruza. Понимаешь?
Yeah.
And then the one named Cheerful Diligence. What a powerful name,
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it's yeah.
Cheerful Diligence.
Yeah, yeah. So Hugh and I have been friends for a long time. We met in probably about October of 1989, and we've had a lot of good times together. We traveled to Sweden with Roby Huffman one time, and had a big time there. And well, we've been. He's been a real good friend for all these years, and I just I'm glad we can have him here, and I could ask some questions. I was first introduced to Hugh in kind of a weird way, but my first visit over here was in 1981, and I went to Stewart, Virginia, and saw a band called Bluegrass Brothers in Bluegrass, and in that band, the banjo player in that band was actually Hugh. But I remember listening to the tape I had made several times, and that's a good banjo player. And then I met Hugh, and then for years, years went by. And one day I was listening to that old Brothers in Bluegrass tape again, and I realized that, man, this is Hugh. I mean, it was just kind of a thing. Yeah. So.
Do you remember? And this is just thinking about this while we're talking. I believe Josh Graves and Kenny Baker played at that Stewart, Virginia festival that year. Do you remember if they were there that year? Because I remember
this is in '81. He was Baker was still with Monroe.
Who would Josh have been playing? Well, maybe I'm thinking of a later year. Yeah, he would have still been.
Josh, when he played with not the Scruggs Review.
I don't know. I remember talking to Josh. I thought it was Josh and Kenny. So maybe I'm thinking of a later year in Stewart, Virginia. That's probably what's going on.
Yeah. I know we probably played there one time with Roby. Remember, right before we went to Sweden, we played up there.
That might have been, and at that time, I remember talking to Josh and Kenny on the balcony of a hotel and second floor at a hotel in Stewart. But anyway,
Yeah.
Trying to put it all together. 81, so I was pretty young back in 81.
About 10 years old.
Yeah, probably that. Maybe 8 years old or something.
He hasn't aged a day since we first met.
Yeah.
Interesting when we start looking at our old pictures from the early 90s. It's
fun sort of fun to look at them.
What it is, yeah.
When this pandemic is over, maybe we take another trip over there to Sweden and see your friends. I remember Tord.
Yeah, and Leif.
And they ran out of water because we took long showers in Sweden.
People they only had you remember the old house in the country, and they only had so much well water,
Yeah, it was just a little bit of water, and it was.
And we were I don't know, 25 people stayed in that house.
Yeah, and we're Americans, we get in there and we want the water to feel hot and everything, and so and it's. I remember it stayed light. I guess was it light all the time or dark all the time? Something like that.
The beer was pretty strong.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the beer is 6.4% alcohol, I think, or more. What's the main brand over there of beer?
Back then, now there's so many.
Oh, are there?
Micro brewery.
Oh yeah, but at that time there was one beer, and I remember saying, "Gosh, I've only had 2 beers," and I just felt like I was losing it. And then I found out the alcohol was either double or triple what ours is. So.
Yeah. Yeah. No, but it's we turn it.
Yeah, yes, I'm turning it off.
Yeah, he's listening to his favorite show
I'm turning it off. That stupid phone drives me nuts.
Live from Leningrad.
Live from Leningrad.
Москва.
Говорит Москва. Говорят все радиостанции Советского Союза.
Yeah, from the old days. So Hugh, I guess most people probably these days know you as a record label owner. And how did you get into that?
I got into it in the 90s. I was doing a concert series first called the Original Music Showcase, and it was at Carolina Theater in Durham, and we had all these people there, and I was getting into recording, but not into the business itself. I was just kind of recording for fun, and then gradually it just kind of grabbed me, and Benny Martin and I became friends sort of through that, I guess, through that concert series at the Carolina Theater. Anyway, so we did Benny. We did a 2-part release of Benny, The Big Tiger Roars Again, Part 1, and then Benny Martin Part 2. And it kind of grew into this big thing. We got all these different people to play on it. And Benny had been in ill health and had kind of totally been out of the limelight. But I know you and I were always Benny Martin fans.
I remember you, Hugh. I remember you calling me in the middle of the night, 3 in the morning or something like that.
Yeah.
And then you said, "Listen to this," and then you held your phone receiver up.
Do you remember what song it was?
Yeah, it was like someone took my place with you, probably.
Yeah. Can I play something that's not Benny? But there's a guy who is imitating Benny so perfectly. I'm doing a video, like if you see back there, that green screen, which is kind of part of this whole video thing during the pandemic, where you play with people and you're not around. And Jan and I are working on getting him set up, but he's not set up for it just yet with the green screen.
Kind of slow.
He's slow, but Misha's going to help him get it all set up. He's got his own technical advisor, and I don't have that. So anyway,
Yeah.
He needs this green screen, and then he needs some recording. He's got some recording interfaces, but he doesn't know how to quite put them all together. But we'll talk about all that later. But there's this guy,
trying to get in.
This guy that Ray Laguerre, who you know, I think, and I said, Ray,
I don't know him personally, but I have admired his music, both mandolin and fiddle and everything.
Yeah. And anyway, I said, Ray, can you just be Benny Martin for a couple of tunes? And we're working on this now. So if you want to, I want to play this song that is going to be on this video, but it's Someone Took My Place with You. And that's the song that I played you with Benny Martin playing it back in the 90
early 90, yeah, probably 92 or 3.
Yeah.
It says, do you hear, or so, can you hear who this is or something?
Yeah, because it is the classic Benny Martin break. I mean, you're a fiddler. You would know.
Yeah. And you played, what you played was from, I guess, Benny's house or something like that.
No, yeah, it was Benny sitting at his kitchen table. He didn't have a shirt on. He was like, oh, yeah, Benny just just kind of walked around with no shirt on and probably in underwear or something. I mean, just the way Benny was. He was a recovered alcoholic. He didn't drink anything for the last 20 years of his life. And that was a beautiful thing because he was a bad alcoholic. And all the stories you hear about Benny Martin in his prime, they usually come around to involving alcohol if you hear many stories. And it was really kind of sad because Benny was he was a member of the Grand Ole Opry and then was playing with Flatt and Scruggs as a side man. And it just and he was a great songwriter and a great singer and a showman. And you see these videos now, they're all on YouTube, as you know. But anyway, so let me get back to this thing that we're working on now, and I'm going to just play it. But this is Ray Laguerre, who I thought really nailed the Benny Martin take. And if I can also mention, singing on this is Billy Troy. That is Josh Graves' son. Josh was one of the Foggy Mountain Boys. His son, Billy Troy, is a good friend of mine and a great singer. And so Billy and I haven't seen each other in 10 years because he lives in Nebraska. This pandemic has been beautiful, but in that way, because we've, gotten Ray and Billy and I have gotten back in touch with each other and we talk on the phone all the time. But anyway, let me play this. This is Someone Took My Place with You. Who wrote this, Jan? I've got to maybe look that up. Well, anyway, I shouldn't. I didn't have time to get all my ducks in a row. Anyway, let's see if this works.
Now someone took my place with you. Now to tell me we are. Someone broke my heart in two when they took my place with you. Now someone left me here to cry. And with each day that passes by, now I'm found here alone and 'cause someone took my place with you. In days to come, I know you'll find when you've left me here behind. In days to come, I know you'll find you've rigged your life as well as mine. When it's too late to make amends, I'm sure you'll pay the price then. Now you'll be there alone, 'cause someone took my place with you. Now someone left me here to cry, and with each day that passes by, now I'm found here alone and blue, 'cause someone took my place with you.
No.
Oh yeah, that
Well,
was something else. Oh yeah.
It sounds just like Benny. It sounds as much like Benny as you could sound, really.
Yeah, I mean that's just it caught. I mean everything was good, but that fiddle was just
Yeah. He was. I think
God.
he had some. I think he said he had some kind of new rosin, and you'll know about all this. That's real.
Yeah, man, that was he's digging in there. That sounded great.
It's
Though.
like the roughness is like it must have sand mixed in with the rosin or something to give it that scratchy, but it's that Benny Martin sound. But also, I should mention there's Chris, our buddy Chris Sharp, who lives in Durham now and is played with John Hartford and played with Benny and Josh and all that crowd when he was in Nashville. And I knew him from there, and you knew him some other way. And
I known Christmas back in my Asheville days in the '86 around there.
You knew him, then you knew him.
I knew him as a teenager.
Yeah. So anyway, Chris is a great guitar player, and he really on these kinds of flat and Scruggs things. You know, he plays with the thumb pick, and he gets the runs in at the right time, and it's like amazing how
Chris, it's got the down to like the atomic level of knowledge, molecular at least.
And his timing is absolutely flawless. He doesn't miss it. Just is right. Just what you really need for a rhythm section. And
well, I mean, it's he and Rice, I think, are the best I've played with.
So anyway, so that's kind of what I've been doing, is just doing these things because we're all sorting out what to do. You're doing this show now, which I think is great, and having different discussions and all these old festivals, and you hear things that you hadn't heard, and then you hear people talk about it, like you've had Richard Green and Mike Cleveland and Butch, and I might be missing somebody important.
Maybe we can get some of your old brothers and bluegrass people on here.
Well, you know how to get them. They're right here, right around town.
Yeah.
And I don't have any of their stuff to play, but the thing I've been working on that I was going to mention is I had the end of our record label week. The music industry has changed so much. CDs, and selling CDs just as a business model, it stopped making sense to me somewhere along the line. And I was in process on a project when we just decided to wind it down, and I was working on a thing with Jesse McReynolds, and I had kind of forgotten about it. And Jesse, who is the oldest member of the Grand Ole Opry at 80, 90, he turned 90. Okay. But anyway, he and I have been talking during the pandemic, and we said, why don't we bring that thing out? Well, we had, can I tell you a little bit about it?
Please. This is very interesting.
So it was Jesse McReynolds, and we did a bluegrass record, and we were working on it, and it has Charlie Cushman playing most of the banjo on it. J.D. Crowe plays a couple of tunes, and Bobby Hicks, your buddy, was playing the fiddle most of the time. But somewhere along the line, we needed a twin fiddle, and I called Buddy Spiker, who was one of the top session guys in Nashville, and he was right there in town. He's a great guy. He played on some of the Benny stuff, a lot of the Benny stuff, Benny Martin stuff. So we called Buddy Spiker and said, can you come over here? And Buddy's like, yeah, man, I'll be over there in an hour. Give me an hour. or whatever. It just kind of a spontaneous thing. And then he was there, I think, for 2 days, and they did Bobby and Buddy Spiker was a great combination.
Oh yeah. I mean, I've heard Hicks say several times over the years that Spiker is his favorite, like, harmony player.
Oh, he can harmonize and he can think of things, and he's a great arranger, and he was the most used session man. I don't know, maybe other than Bob Moore or somebody in Nashville for so long.
Yeah, I know.
A lot of these old country songs that some trivia person can name them off the top of their head, and that, oh yeah, Buddy Spiker did the intro to that song or this song.
Yeah.
So, and anyway, so I got one that from that. Let's see. This was one that I sent to you yesterday because I was mixing it. Oh, the singer on here is a guy named Donnie Catrone, and Donnie Catrone sang with Jesse some, and he sounds just like Jim McReynolds. But Donnie sang this whole thing, and one of the reasons we let this go is Donnie pretty much just sang scratch vocals, which means you're just singing along, and you're going to come back in and fix it later. You might not even know the words. And you do the best you can, and then you come back in later and fix it. Well, Donnie got sick and unfortunately died. He was a great singer. So when I pulled this thing out of the trash can to revive it, I had to find, there was a couple songs that there wasn't enough there to get, but some of it was like either all there, or we could sometimes take a first verse and find a way to repeat it in the second verse. Here's a cool song, and I don't know, we can look it up. My Life's Gonna Be Sunshine. This is just a great song, and this features Bobby Hicks on you won't hear the right-hand side and all that, because this is mono, but we've got Bobby Hicks in the left and Buddy Spiker on the right, and it's such a great sound. But this is a cool song with a bunch of key changes. So just
I know I've made my share of mistakes. I made some I don't want to make again. So when the devil comes knocking at my door, I'll see who's there, but I won't let him in. 'Cause my life's gonna be sunshine from now on. And I'm gonna work for right, but never wrong. And everywhere I go, I'll sing the song. 'Cause my life's gonna be sunshine from now on. Each day I'll fill my mind with only good thoughts. I'll spend my time to help someone along. And if I make the world a little bit better, then my life's gonna be sunshine from now on. 'Cause my life's gonna be sunshine from now on. I'm gonna work for right, but never wrong. And everywhere I go, I'll sing a song. 'Cause my life's gonna be sunshine from now on. 'Cause my life's gonna be sunshine from now on. And I'm gonna work for right, but never wrong. And everywhere I go, I'll sing a song. 'Cause my life's gonna be sunshine from now on. 'Cause my life's gonna be sunshine from now on.
That was a great answer.
Yeah, it's just wonderful.
So anyway,
who was the lead guitar player again?
I meant to say that was, if I'm not mistaken, that was Tim Stafford. So great guitar player.
Yeah.
That was Tim. And either Mike Bubb or Missy Raines on bass. So I don't know who I'm missing there. I'll tell you what. Let's see. I have this sitting here because of let's see who have we got there from the what would that be on the left? Tim Stafford, Jeff McReynolds, Buddy Spiker, Bobby Hicks, Billy Troy, and then I'm below Billy Troy. Beside Billy Troy,
that's Crow, isn't it?
Yeah, that's Crow, J.D. Crow. There's Donnie Catrone singing that high part.
Oh yeah.
And there's Bub and Charlie Cushman. So that was who was in on that session that day. Oh. And I don't know if we did that song that day. And it's a little bit of a problem because, you know, when you're trying to revive it, I'm like, well, I want to give everybody credit, but I don't want to. That might have been Missy Raines on bass because I know she's in another picture that we had of that same group. But anyway, it doesn't matter. It was fun, and everybody was doing it for Jesse. And it's definitely, you know, Jesse's really a good singer. You know, he's not known for his singing, but I mean, he's known for his mandolin playing, but he is really a good lead singer. And then Donnie singing on there sounded just like Jim McReynolds to me.
It did sound like Jim.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Hugh, you recorded quite a few on let's say older musicians in on your label, and I know you really like the old numbers and the old country music as well. And can you name a few people that you recorded?
Yeah. Well, you know, when we did that Benny, when we had a lot of things that kind of sprung out from that, Bobby Osborne being, you know, the ultimate to me, he was always my favorite singer. And we got Bobby to come in with Benny and sing a song. I forget now what song he did, but I would like to, I wish I could think of what song he did and I could find it here. But anyway, Bobby did that. And then Bobby came back and did one with Johnny Russell. And then the ultimate, with the first solo record that Bobby ever did without the Osborne brothers, I think it was the first, was our Selfishness in Man. And it was, in fact, if I can find it here, I might play that because it was Bobby singing in a non-bluegrass setting, and it was the first time he had recorded like that in a long time anyway. And so anyway, he was one of them. Let's see who else. And on that album with Benny, we had, you know, Alison Krauss and Vince Gill, but you know, they were just coming to make an appearance in honor of Benny. And so we did later, I'm looking up there, we did 2 Kenny Baker albums, and I've got them on my wall so I can remind myself. Glenn Duncan is one of the great fiddle players. He's not an older, well, he's older now, just like we are, but he's anyway,
definitely one of the
different generation. And he's a great player.
And what a wonderful impersonator.
Oh yeah. It comes naturally for him. When you're talking to Glenn Duncan, you might end up thinking you're talking to Bill Monroe at any moment. Even if you're talking about the weather, it could end up turning into a Bill Monroe voice. Yeah, he's great at that. Anyway, but he's also a great fiddle player.
Oh, absolutely.
Of course he is. One that we did that you'll appreciate, and I can play if it's okay, is Vassar Clements did one, and that was really a thrill because we got Bela Fleck to play and a bunch of Vassar's Newgrass, bunch of the people from the Nitty Gritty Dirt Band, and anyway, and John Cowan, who is a well-known singer to us, but maybe not to everybody who's listening, but was a singer for the Newgrass Revival and is just a great singer. And he did one on Vassar's record called The White Room. Now, all right, you're a rock fan. Who did The White Room? Then The White Room. But anyway, I better not put anybody.
Eric Clapton.
Yeah. All right, so here is The White Room from our Vassar Clements Full Circle. And Here it is. With John Cowan singing.
Doobie Brothers.
In a white room with black curtains near the station. Black roof country, no pavements, tired starlings. Silver horses ran down moonbeams in your dark eyes. Dawnlight smiles on you, leaving my contentment. I wait in this place where the sun never shines. Wait in this place where the shadows run from themselves. You said no strings could secure.
Crazy bastard.
Yeah.
Platform ticket, restless diesels, goodbye windows. I walked into such a sad time at the station. As I walked out, felt my own need just beginning. I wait in the queue when the trains come by. Lie here with you where the shadows run from themselves. At the party, she was kindness in the hard crowd. Consolation for the old moon, now forgotten. Yellow tigers crouched in jungles in her dark eyes. She's just dressing goodbye windows, tired starlings. I'll sleep in this place with the lonely crowd. Lie in the dark where the shadows run from themselves.
Sam Bush on the mandolin. I'll wait in this place where the sun never shines. Wait in this place where the shadows run from themselves. Definitely not your.
It was your traditional Grayson County fiddle tune, those.
Not at all.
But
Cream,
it's
Cream
all,
is who had the hit song with that. Which, but
yeah, Clapton.
yeah, it's Clapton. But anyway, so Vassar was a fun one to be around. Obviously, he brought good company with Sam Bush, John Cowan, Bela Fleck, Brian Sutton was on the guitar there.
Yeah, I was going to ask if
Kevin Brandt on bass, I think. I think that's all. Yeah. Anyway.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Brian, he's something else.
Yeah, he's
for sure. Did you know I played in a band with Brian one time, or for a while?
Asheville, in Asheville.
Yeah. The Pisgah Pickers.
Yeah, I would say.
It was a wonderful time.
So anyway, that's kind of the overview of OMS Records, which is on the internet at www.omsrecords.com. I just wrote it in this chat right here, and then I realized that's just me talking to you, so that doesn't go anywhere. But
repeat that address again.
OMS, just OMS Records, which stands for Original Music Showcase, because that was kind of what we were, and then omsrecords.com.
Yeah.
And we didn't release anything for a long time, and then this pandemic's kind of changed all of everybody's. Anyway, I'm trying to sort out things just like everybody else is.
Yeah.
And so bringing back to life Jesse's thing, I did a video with Bobby Osborne, and that was a thrill, getting to record with Bobby and his son, and Glenn Duncan played on that. And anyway, doing some things like that, but not releasing records. They're CDs. I don't know. That just
no.
Doesn't appeal to me. It's like if somebody's touring, which nobody is right now, I guess CD sales have got to be way down. Most people are downloading and streaming, the business model is flawed from my viewpoint anyway.
Well, so, Hugh, you've been to school, so to say, in the field of finances. Hugh is a retired senior stockbroker, and
well, that was my
it was pretty stressful, I'm sure.
Yeah, that was but music was always kind of the center of
sure.
Even then, I mean, I was having trouble faking it in my other life, because the music's is a pretty strong draw, and it still is. Maybe during the pandemic, just because you can't focus on the same things, you've got to think I just sit here a lot in this place right here and play or listen to music a lot. So I don't know, I'm discovering music, and I know you are too. So,
Yeah. Well, any other things going on that might be interesting to the people?
Well, I'm trying to think. Other than working on these videos and then reviving Jesse's thing, I can play another song from that if you want to.
Yeah, please do. I think we need.
There was one that he did, a John Prine song, "Glory of True Love," which was time. I thought about it when John Prine died. We didn't really have it mixed and everything. I said, Jesse, maybe we ought to just try to put this out there, but it wasn't quite done. But anyway, it's "Glory of True Love." I think that would be a good one. I don't know if that has much Hicks stuff on it. I was trying to think of something with some fiddle play, and let me try this one. Change to "Everybody's Reaching Out for Someone." Let's see.
Everybody's reaching out for someone. Everybody's Everybody's knocking at some door. And long before I ever found you, you're the one that I was reaching for. Just like the trees along the river, lift up the branches to the sun above. We spend our lifetime reaching for a friend, 'cause everybody needs a one to love. Everybody's reaching for someone. Everybody's knocking at some door. And long before I ever found you, you're the one that I was reaching for. I wanted you since the day my life began. I heard your footsteps running just beyond my mind. Ever since that moment I've been reaching for your hand, hoping you'd be reaching out for mine. Everybody's reaching out for someone. Everybody's knocking at some door. And long before I ever found you, you're the one that I was reaching for. You're the one that I was reaching for.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Isn't that
Beautiful.
cool?
Oh yeah, that's really nice to hear. That's
That's
and then-
all new music, something that's being played for the first time right here on the is this the Jan Johansson show?
oh maybe. And now I mean it's more like a
We got to come up with a good name for it.
yeah. This is really typically would be the Rhinehart Archives.
Oh well, Seth does get equal billing normally, but
Yeah, Seth, he's my buddy. He's young, and let him celebrate.
celebrate his birthday. It's probably like his 20th one. He doesn't have like us where he's got a whole bunch of that he can
Tell you though, that boy has an old soul. I just love talking to him. He's a good one for sure.
He's into the music, which is kind of
right. So is Bobby Hicks.
yeah.
That man. He is about the music and better be in tune.
Yeah, I bet.
Oh, yeah.
Be
He'll
it-
let if you're out of tune. No problem. Yeah.
So anyway, thank you for letting me come on here tonight and self-promote a little bit. I didn't know what else I would have to talk about. We didn't, and I'll interview you sometime and let you tell all your history and your background and everything. And then we still got to do that 2-hour interview with Misha sometime.
2 hours.
Yeah. What do you think?
Well, I think 2 hours is a little bit too much, but
You run out of things to talk about.
No, he never runs out of things to talk to.
Yeah.
But Hugh, do you have it? You want to just kind of fade out?
Yeah, let's fade out with Act Naturally.
Yeah.
But thank you very much. And this is Johnny Russell, Earl Scruggs, Benny Martin, and Buck Owens, of course, with Johnny Russell.
They're gonna put me in the movie. They're gonna make a big star out of me. We'll make a film about a man that's sad and lonely. And all I gotta do is act naturally. Well, I bet you I'm gonna be a big star. Might win an Oscar, you can't never tell. The movies are gonna make me a big star, 'cause I can play the part so well. Well, I hope you come to see me in the movies. then I know that you will plainly see.
Josh Graves is playing there too. I didn't mention him.
Big time.
Okay.
And all I gotta do is act naturally. We'll make the scene about a man that's sad and lonely, and a breaking down the phone is been. And I'll play the part. I won't need rehearsing. All I gotta do is act naturally. Well, I'll bet you I'm gonna be a big star. Might win an Oscar, you can't never tell. The movies are gonna make me a big star, 'cause I can play the part so well. I hope you come to see me in the movies, and I know that you're gonna plainly see the biggest boom that's ever hit the big time. And all I gotta do is act naturally. Yeah, all I gotta do is act naturally.
Yeah, man, that's good. That's a good ending
Yeah.
and everything.
Thank you, Jan.
Well, thank you, Hugh. I'm gonna just leave everybody to their own and just say good night to everybody. Thank you. Take care
Good.
and broadcast.